Okay, so my local feed store did switch up the feed that they were carrying. This is now a high-pro trow, so I got the names mixed up last time. It's the same thing. So this is a low-sugar, high-fiber. I read through their pamphlet on it, and it said that it was suitable for horses with metabolic issues or insulin resistance or laminitis. So this is what is in it, for those of you who would like to know. I'm going to start her off with a little bit and add in something else. And that is what it looks like. So a friend of ours gave us this and said that, oh man, this works really, really well. So we're going to give this a try. Just add it into her feed and see if we can't bring some of that inflammation down. I guess this was Sugar's version of leaving me a present. She pooped right on, ew, all the flies, right on her feed bin. Disgusting. Ew. I guess we get to wash that off. Really? How come they're so creative? I'm pretty sure that this water trough is leaking because there is always wet ground here and standing water here, which this would be considered downhill. And there's no way that she would drink that much water in a day. And there's just, yeah, water everywhere. So, and then the bottom of the sled, I know it's a primitive setup here, but the bottom of the sled is also wet. So I'm gonna have to figure out if this thing is leaking. This heat is borderline unbearable. Like, I am sweating bullets, and I fed horses and goats, made sure everybody had lots and lots of water, and I'm just like, oh, the thought of even doing anything remotely labor intensive is just like, nope. I am sweltering, and it is only 10:20 in the morning. I've also got a bug, another bug. So my throat is really sore, and I'm just congested, just a lot of like head pressure, sinus pressure, and I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna curl up next to our little portable AC unit and do the bare minimum today. I don't have a designated feed shed yet, and my milk shed is too small to accommodate all of the feed. So I have feed for Sugar in 3 different places, which, you tell me, is that very good time management for me? Probably not. So I have got some alfalfa cubes, beet pulp, and then her low sugar, low starch grain, and I'm actually gonna soak it with some water just to give her some extra hydration, and I think it also makes it easier for them to digest, easier on their stomachs. Also, like, it's less of a chance for like that dry matter to go into their stomach. Could you imagine like that beet pulp and those alfalfa cubes? They puff up quite a bit once you add water to them. So I could only imagine what that would do on a hot day. And yeah, when you're already trying to hydrate yourself. Okay, so these are still pretty hard. They're starting to come apart. Underneath that is the beet pulp. That would be these guys right here. We have been having a heat wave, and so we put up this tarp to provide some shade. There's sleepy little bug over there, and they have been really appreciating that. So thanks to my husband for rigging that up yesterday. Morning, Mama. Hey. You gonna get up for us? So I'm busy mucking out her pen before it gets too hot. And look. Ladybug lay down and snuggled with her mom. She was trying to nurse, and I don't think she's quite laying properly enough for her to get a good suckle in, but I brought her some breakfast, but she's not getting up for her breakfast yet. Which, I mean, that in itself, she lays down a lot more than most horses would. And the fact that, you know, you bring them food and she's still hesitant to get up means that she's got to really, really think about it. You know, like, is it worth standing up right now? Well, maybe I can lay down for a little bit longer and eat later. We don't always know what's going through their minds, but obviously she wants to rest more than she wants to get up and eat breakfast, which to me that says that she's pretty sore today. Just have to feed Raven and the bucks, and then give Sugar a little bit of mash, and then I'm done chores. It's just before 8 o'clock, before it gets hot. This kind of reminds me of feeding sharks. I took some meat out, and call me terrible, but I forgot it on the counter. It's just like some elk skewer meat. And I'm just feeding them little chunks over the... Good catch. Nora, get it. She's a little bit slower. There's a piece right in front of you.
Mommy.
Good catch.
My Gypsy cat caught it.
Good catch.
Nora.
There, now she finally found it. Good catch. This is just lean elk meat. They also get kibble, but they sure enjoy their raw treats. Good catch. So we're going from a heat wave to pretty much like a windstorm. I'm sure it's not as windy as other places get it, but for us it's a bit of a windstorm. And so for the heat wave, my husband had set up this tarp to provide some shade for deer Sugar and Ladybug. But now it's like a kite, and we need to get the tarp down so that it doesn't completely knock over the panels. There you go. Tarp is folded and getting put away. I get to show you something really exciting. Can you guess what it is? Let me show you. A dog! I'm just kidding. Y'all recognize this? Yeah. Yes, you see it? There is grass. Yeah, you heard me. So aside from all the manure and stuff that's getting pushed up and out of the way, look at our pasture. There's actually grass. Although there's also a lot of that, which is thistle, which is not what we want. A bunch of little trees and shrubs. What we want is this. Right here. Oh, puppies. Hi. Well, we could grow puppies too. Oh my goodness. I was trying to show something. Okay. You see it though? There's all this beautiful grass. And hopefully this is what will go to seed and it will fill all of this area. Whereas last year it was all trees, which is why we have big piles of brush that we can't do anything about because we're in a drought and fire bans are a thing. But we finally have some grass. Yay! We also have a whole bunch of this, which probably should get spot sprayed out. I'm not sure what that is, but I wonder if it's poison ivy. I probably shouldn't touch it. So that's everywhere. But if we come out and spray for like broadleaf and stuff, I bet you anything that this grass is going to just take over in here. So also, let me just keep on tootling along, woo, and try not to trip. So I still need to come back in here now that it's dried up a little bit more and come and pick sticks again. What's crazy is this. Ugh, that drives me nuts. We're in a drought and our property, which is on a hill, does not dry off. I do not know why. It's probably our soil, but it drives me bonkers. So this is currently the fence line. Our horses have never been back here. So right now we have been, well, it's been a little bit, but my husband cleared a fence line that way and cleared a fence line that way. And then we need to pound posts on the end, put up wires, tack up wires at the end. And then they have this whole back area, which actually it slopes down. So it's going to be a lot drier back here. It's not as cleared, it's more just bush, but I don't know. There's a good amount of grass back here too. Not enough for all of our horses by any stretch, but it is cool to be able to see all of the greenery starting to come up. When you start from nothing, where there was not a pasture, and suddenly you start building fences, and the animals on their own start clearing areas and making trails. And sure, this is a little precarious right now. It's just kind of like wilderness and stumps and whatnot. But there becomes something where before this was all trees. And so hopefully over time, this will turn into a nice pasture. My biggest concern is the fact that this soil doesn't drain very well. So if it's always boggy and kind of like a slough, that's not great for horses' hooves. They can get thrush and other issues. I mean, would you like to have your feet wet all the time? It's kind of like the same thing. So anyways, this might be like a good fall type of pasture when it's not wet. Or I mean, even in the winter time, feed them up front here. But spring, yeah, it's not going to be that great because as you can see, there's still like standing water somehow, which, yeah, crazy to me. The downside of where our property is, I guess. Can never be perfect, but this stuff definitely needs to be sprayed out, whatever that is. I'm not very good with my native plants, but I should probably learn a few more things. But this is where the horses were before we kicked them out across the road. So that's really neat to be able to see some grass starting to come up. So Sugar finally has both boots on her front feet, and at this point there's not a noticeable difference other than she's still really sore. But I did want to let you know that we did get both boots on the front, and we are waiting on our farrier to come and give her a good tune-up and just see what he has to say about her situation. So thanks for watching this random tidbit small farm vlog. I do plan to have some more specific videos to post here in the next few weeks, so I really hope that you stay tuned for that. And if you have any kind of ideas of like things that you would like to see a video on, feel free to let me know and I'll see if I can get something like that done in the future.